Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we are unpacking something absolutely fascinating, the unseen emotional weight of our everyday interactions. We're going to explore how we fundamentally influence one another constantly without even realizing it. Because, let's be real, human beings are so much more than just physical bodies trading spoken words. Every single time we interact, whether we're chatting with a stranger at the grocery store, hugging a loved one, or literally just sitting quietly in the same room as someone else, there's this incredibly complex, invisible dynamic at play.
So let's dive right into a question I think we can all relate to, because it perfectly frames the reality of the emotional economy we navigate every single day. Actually, think about your own life for a second. We've all been there, right? Why is it that you can meet a friend for a quick coffee and walk away feeling like you could literally conquer the world, but a 10-minute meeting with someone else leaves you needing a 3-hour nap? Well, it's because we're constantly exchanging something totally invisible, but incredibly heavy.
Section 1. The invisible energy exchange. We're looking beyond physical bodies and spoken words. So what exactly is this energy exchange? It's not some abstract woo-woo magic. It's a very real, very powerful transfer of interpersonal influence. We're talking about our emotions, our baseline attitudes, and our underlying intentions. It's our body language. And honestly, perhaps the most surprising part, it's even our silence. Silence isn't empty, you know? It's packed with information and feeling. When we start to really grasp this, it absolutely forces us to be more mindful of the impact we have on others, and just how much they influence us in return.
And hey, for the analytical thinkers out there, this energy isn't mysticism. This whole phenomenon is firmly grounded in hard sciences, psychology, neuroscience, the study of social behavior. Science is actively looking at how our nervous systems literally interact with each other. But even outside the lab, energy exchange is just a perfect, accessible metaphor for how we influence one another. Whether you're looking at this through a scientific lens, a philosophical one, or even a spiritual one, the foundational truth is exactly the same. Your presence absolutely affects others, and their presence absolutely affects you. No way around it.
Section 2. Emotions are highly contagious. Let's look at the spread of our inner states.
Okay, so this energy exchange always starts with our baseline emotional state. Think about a genuinely cheerful person. You definitely know someone like this. They can brighten up a whole room without even trying. Their enthusiasm spreads like wildfire, naturally inspiring everyone around them to smile, laugh, or just feel a bit more hopeful. But flip that around. Someone carrying a lot of anger, fear, or resentment, they might not even mean to, but they unintentionally spread all that tension and discomfort right to everyone in their vicinity. The vibe of the room literally shifts the second they walk in.
Our source material really hits the nail on the head here, reminding us just how intimately familiar this is in our everyday lives. I mean, most of us have walked away from a conversation feeling totally uplifted and motivated, just as we've all had encounters that leave us completely emotionally exhausted or discouraged. You can't necessarily measure these specific daily interactions with a scientific instrument, but they clearly prove how powerfully our internal emotions bleed out and wash over the people around us.
Section 3. More than just words. Time to decode the silent signals we send. Because, let's be real, communication extends way beyond the words coming out of our mouths. We all possess this massive toolkit of nonverbal cues that completely dictate the emotional atmosphere of an interaction. Your facial expressions, how much eye contact you hold, those tiny subtle shifts in your tone of voice, how you carry your posture, your hand gestures, all of this conveys a ton of data. These are the actual physical mechanisms through which that invisible emotional energy gets transmitted right across the table to whoever you're talking to.
It really boils down to simple cause and effect. A sincere smile and actual, genuine active listening, that does wonders. It communicates warmth, acceptance, and makes the other person feel incredibly valued. But behaviors like impatience, criticism, or just general indifference, boom, instant emotional distance and insecurity. Every single action you take is sending a signal, and those signals are what fundamentally shape the quality of your relationships.
Which brings us to Section 4. Intentions and ripple effects. How our micro-interactions build macro environments. So, your underlying intentions, they totally dictate the kind of energy you're exchanging. When you approach people with kindness, empathy, and respect, you aren't just making that one person feel good. You're actually building a broader environment of trust and cooperation. It's contagious. Generosity inspires others to be generous, creating this awesome positive cycle. But conversely, interactions driven by selfishness, manipulation, or hostility, that generates immediate conflict and mistrust. Ultimately, in this emotional economy, what you put in is exactly what you get out. The energy you project is almost always reflected right back at you. And this scales up in a big way, shaping entire macro environments, workplaces, schools, families, the whole shebang. Think about a supportive teacher. They aren't just passing on math formulas. Their energy ignites a lifelong passion for learning in those kids. An encouraging leader doesn't just check off tasks, they motivate a whole team to crush their goals and achieve extraordinary results. Patient parents who consistently show love, they are literally creating the emotionally secure environments children need to truly flourish. It just proves that positive energy ripples outward, touching not just one person, but entire communities.
Finally, Section 5, protecting your emotional health. Let's talk about navigating negative energy.
Look, as wonderful as it is to spread positivity, recognizing how energy exchange works means we've got to acknowledge the dark side of it too. Not every interaction you have is going to be healthy. If you are constantly marinating in negativity, manipulation, or ongoing emotional conflict, it is going to severely drain your mental and emotional resources. You literally cannot pour from an empty cup. Realizing this dynamic exists gives you full permission to be fiercely protective of your own well-being and guard against those unhealthy emotional drains.
To protect that inner balance, the source material gives us 3 super practical steps. Number 1, set healthy boundaries. Seriously, it is absolutely okay to say no to interactions that deplete you. Number 2, practice self-care to replenish those emotional reserves. You need time to recharge. And number 3, surround yourself with supportive relationships that provide that uplifting, positive energy exchange we talked about earlier. Doing these 3 things is absolutely crucial to make sure you don't burn out, so you can keep contributing positively in the long run.
At the end of the day, every single human interaction is an exchange of emotional and interpersonal energy. Our words, our actions, our attitudes, our intentions, they all possess this incredible power to encourage or discourage, to heal or to hurt, to unite or to divide us. By becoming deeply, intentionally conscious of the energy we're bringing to our relationships, we can actively cultivate compassion and strengthen our connections, shaping a way better collective human experience for all of us.
So, as we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with one provocative question to chew on. The next time you walk into a crowded room or log into a tense virtual meeting or just sit down for dinner with your family, what kind of energy are you bringing into that interaction? Because whether you realize it or not, you are changing the atmosphere. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and I challenge you to make your next energy exchange a great one.